Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about perimenopause. Okay, I just want to put out there I am not a doctor of any sorts. I'm not even in the medical profession. I'm not a nurse. I know I am not. I'm nothing. I'm just a woman who's going through perimenopause right now. And I want to share with you, it's been a few years now. So I thought I would share with you my experience and basically I have looked into this a little bit more. If you're just starting, like what you can expect, what you might not expect, we're all different. And guys, if you're watching, take notes. So perimenopause is the natural transition when women transition to menopause, which basically marks the end of reproduction years. As far as age goes, it's just really different for everyone. I started mine maybe right when I turned 50, maybe 49, 50. I had mild symptoms. Some people start them in their 40s. Some people I've heard even in their 30s. Typically though, I would say in your 50s or early 50s is the time when perimenopause will begin. And then when you've gone 12 consecutive months with no period, you're in menopause. Welcome. Although I shouldn't say welcome because I'm not there yet. I am about I might be on my 5th month with no period, and this is the longest I've gone so far. So if I've known people that have made it to the 11th month and got their period, and you have to start all over again. You'll be in perimenopause all over again. I would say for me, the first sign, my periods were irregular. I always was 28 days exactly since I first got my period. I was almost 11 years old, and I was always on time. And my mother taught me a trick. I didn't even count ahead 28 days. She had us just count backwards 3 days, and that date was the next month is when you would get your period next. And it always worked for me. Like, that system just always worked. Go backwards 3 days, and that's when you're going to get your next period. That number on the next month. And I was always regular. I had pretty heavy flows, I would say. I didn't really not get my periods. My period would be like late, a day or two late in the beginning, and I was like, oh, it would last longer, last shorter. It was literally just different each time. And then I would skip a month and I'd be like, oh my God. But then I'd be back to normal for like another year. And so it was just very sporadic. Like, you really just don't know when you're going to get your period next when you're in perimenopause. And that, to me, I hated, because I could schedule vacations and parties and events around my period, and I can't anymore. Hot flashes, I think, are so varied between everybody. I deal with them. They're annoying. They're very annoying. It's like, to me, I compare it to when you have a fever and you take that Tylenol and it sweats out. Like, it's from within. It's not like you're hot because it's summer and you're outside on the beach. It's such a different type of heat. It's heat from within, like a fever. For me, it really only comes, I would say, at nighttime. It's almost like all of a sudden it's like 9 o'clock and my body, all of a sudden, it's like somebody just turned the knob up, just turned the heat up, and here we go. Middle of the night, a few times. But there was a time, which is weird because it was only recently, maybe it was like over the summer. Oh, maybe because the air condition was on, because it was summertime, and I feel like, wow, I don't get hot flashes at night anymore, and I really haven't gotten them. I'm not one to have gotten hot flashes throughout the day. I really didn't. I would get hot and I would get cold, but I didn't get the hot flashes. Those would come at night where I was literally sweating, and I've had to actually change into different pajamas at times because I just sweat. Like, I had to put a towel under my sheet. I couldn't change the sheets because my husband's sleeping. It was just like, that doesn't happen that often though. I mean, I sweat, I put the fan on, it cools my body down, and we move on. And honestly, it's no big deal. But to some people, it's a lot worse. Some people get it all day long. Their face gets flushed. Like, thankfully, I don't get it that bad. And my doctor told me the other day that the hot flashes are the biggest complaint. So as we get older, I like to look at perimenopause and menopause as a time that we've reached our wisdom. We've reached a time where we really just don't care as much anymore. Mood swings. Okay. So, yeah, it's nuts. Like, you just can't all of a sudden take anything anymore from anyone. Like, the irritability level is beyond. You just have no patience to deal with annoyance. Sometimes it's just one of those days and you wake up and it's like, oh, okay. And you know, like, everybody has one of those days for sure, but it's like when you PMS, okay, well, just like times that by 50. PMS times 50. There you go. I mean, there are days that I am so blessed. I'm so happy, which I would say for the most part, I am. And I push myself to know that I am. So that's a good thing. But then there's days that all of a sudden it'll just click like that. It's not even because I'm mad at something. It's not because someone said something that made me angry. It's not because I hurt my finger or something. It's just all of a sudden this chemical thing reaction happens inside your brain and your body, and all of a sudden you're just like in a bad mood or you're in a sad mood. Speaking of sad moods, depression is a huge part of perimenopause for some of us. Not all of us. These symptoms, you might have one symptom out of all this. You might have no symptoms, guys. Yes, you might not. You might not have a symptom at all. But most likely you'll have some of these symptoms. Depression, yeah, depression's hard. For me, like, again, everybody's story is different. For me, I started perimenopause literally right when lockdown happened and the world was nuts, and my hormones were just, I was crying every 2 seconds. I don't know. I think it was just because it was the beginning of my changes. It's also a time, again, we're all different because we all have children at different ages, but for the most part, it's a time when your kids grow up, get out of the house, and move on. And it's sad because it's such a transition in your life. It's such a transitional time in your life. And again, for me, it was a huge transition because I even stopped working. Everything happened during my perimenopause stage starting. I didn't work anymore. My mom had passed. My father-in-law passed. It was just like a crazy time. Forgetfulness. I forget every second of every day. I mean, we all do that, but weight gain happens, and this to me is a big one because I don't really even think I gained weight from perimenopause. I just think where the weight goes is what changed on me. It all goes into my center, into my middle area. Everything is going there, no matter what. And in my belly, I feel pregnant. I feel like I look pregnant sometimes. And it's like, what's going on here? I don't know. It's just as you get older, it's very hard to take off the weight like we did when we were younger. So in the beginning for me, I think also between the periods being a little irregular, exhaustion will kick in like out of nowhere. I thought and it wasn't COVID. I was like, did I have COVID? It's just, you get so tired. I felt for me, I was more tired in the beginning. I don't have that exhaustion like I had as much. I had major exhaustion. But again, that could be part of the depression too, because you just want to sleep all day. It's all a big perfect storm. Headaches were a problem too. I was having here and there. I always had a headache at the end of my period, and now that I wasn't getting my period, I would just always have a headache. And it's just these little things. I'm going to tell you guys, it's been a few years, and I don't really have the headaches as bad. I don't have I'm tired, but now when that exhaustion feeling hits me, and I know, you know your body, and I know it's from my hormones when I'm tired like that, because I know if I don't get sleep, I'm tired from that. I always know why I'm tired. So I will stop what I'm doing and I'll close my eyes. And it helps me. Even if I take 20 minutes, it helps me. What can we do to help with these symptoms? I know the number one answer, but do I want to do it? No. It's exercise. I'm telling you, exercise helps you. I've seen it with people I know. Like, exercise changes you mentally and physically. It really is the best thing for you. The problem is, I don't like to exercise. I just don't. And, you know, I could sit here and tell you exercise, you'll feel better, but I know that and I don't even do it. However, you got to try a little bit. So what I do, for me, now that I'm working home, I go up and down my stairs all day. I go to the basement, to the second floor. So I have 2 flights that I'm always up and down. And I'm going to tell you why most of the time I do it, because I forget when I get to each room what the hell I went in there for. So I'm going back up to remember, oh, I went to go down and get that, and then I got to go back down to get it. Say, oh, while I'm down here, I got to go do this. I'm constantly up and down. Constantly. I'm constantly moving. When I was in the office, I sat on my butt all day long, did nothing but eat candy and cookies. The moving, just try to move. Take the dogs for a walk. I don't even want to do that. My dogs go out the front, but I have to force that. I have to force the dog walking. Like they play. I play catch with them. Well, one. And they get their exercise, but not like they should. And then that means I don't get my exercise. If you like to dance like I do, I love dancing. There's a dance app. Fitbit? It's not Fitbit. That's a watch, right? I used it and I liked it. I just don't use it enough. And when I did it, it was fun. It's like, I think it's got mostly like Latin dance, whatever. But it's a 10-minute or 8-minute dance that focuses on the parts of the body that you want. And I put it on my phone in the kitchen, on the counter, and I was just like, oh my God, I just did 8 minutes of a workout without even realizing because I was having so much fun. So I got to pull that out again. That was good. I never liked exercising. Even when I was young, I would work with weights. I hated exercising, and I also hate vegetables, so there we go. Another great thing, meditation. I do meditate. I don't meditate maybe like a professional meditator person, whatever you call it would, but I meditate like right now. I'll just, and just doing that made me feel better. Just doing that made me feel better. I go in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it makes me feel good and relaxed and calm. Take care of yourself first. I'm telling you right now, I would feel guilty because of my mood and how it's affecting others around me. And it would just give me more anxiety. It just gave me more anxiety because I'm like, I see they're like annoyed with me. And then I'm not happy with me. But it would be nice to have a little support. Do things you like that make you feel good. Read a book, get a facial, lay in bed. I just lay there. I listen to like spa music. I put candles on and I close my door and I give myself like 10-15 minutes. That's all you need. Men, pay attention, please. I'm just gonna say, if you see your wife is just kind of like a little out of it, a little sad, a little tired, a little cranky, wakes up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom looking like this, just be a little nicer to us. That's all we want. We just want a little compassion to understand what we have to go through as women, physically and mentally. And I don't think you really honestly realize it. I know my husband couldn't handle it, and he'd admit it probably, but there's no way. There's no way. He's so sensitive. It's not easy. So guys, really, just don't roll your eyes. We're not joking when we say we're going through this crazy crap. This is the worst thing we've ever gone through, probably. I shouldn't say that because I don't know. Everybody's individually different. But this is one of the worst things that we're going to have to go through physically in our lives. And it's a given. So please have some compassion. I'm not as social as I used to be. I don't know if that has to do with perimenopause or just life now, but I just want to stay home, cuddle on my couch, watch a movie, do something at home. I'm not into going out anymore, and when I do, it's exhausting. It's exhausting, and I literally feel and physically sick from it. And I don't know if this is a symptom of, I think it is part of the whole perimenopause and your mind, but right now, for me, this is what I'm dealing with. So I'm just becoming a homebody. I don't want to deal with anybody. I don't mean it in an insulting way at all. At all. I find peace by myself right now. I just do. And if that's what I need to get through this transition in my life, then do what you gotta do. Yeah, guys, maybe just don't do things to us that can be irritating. You know who you are. When you look at us, this is what you're seeing with a hot flash, but just know this is how we feel. Just some support, that's all. Do you? Fake it. Fake it, guys. If you have to fake it, fake it. Be nice to us. Roll your eyes behind us. I don't care. Be more supportive. And don't forget, ladies, Just because your periods are irregular doesn't mean that you can't conceive. Yeah, talk to your doctor. Am I gonna miss my period? Never in a million years. I am. Bye. Bye. Bye bye. No more. No more pads. No more nothing. No more, no more, no more. So guys, I would love to hear down below your thoughts, what you're going through during perimenopause. If you have the same symptoms, let's help each other out down below by saying what you're going through and things that might help you get through what we're going through. And guys, did you take your notes? See you in the next video.